you what Hov said. Some days you're up, some days you're down. As long as you stay the same, it'll come back around. I always love that line because he's like, the thing is consistency no matter what's going on. And that's the shit that builds equity. That's what builds momentum. That's what people are paying attention to is the consistency. So
What's happening, bro? What's going on with you?
We back.
I'm gonna start off with a story. And so, and you know, I think this is a good segue into the talk, right? And so the context of the story is, you know, when you could quit, right? So, you know, I've been monitoring.
So we quitting?
It ain't that we quitting.
All right, I'm just.
No, we not.
quitting.
No, we ain't quitting.
All right.
But if we're gonna quit, this is when you're allowed to quit. So my brother said some shit to me one time, right? And he was talking about his son was like, I don't know if it was basketball practice or whatever, but he was having some trouble or whatever. It wasn't going easy for him. Mm-hmm. So he's like, Dad, I don't want to play no more. And my brother was like, all right, bet. You could quit, but only when you're up. Meaning, when you win, when you complete the season,
Right.
then you could quit.
Right.
Now, my brother's ahead because he knew that once he got some results, motherfucker wasn't going to want to quit.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying? But
Word.
everybody quits when it gets tough. That's par for the course. That's why people aren't successful, because you quit when it gets hard.
Right.
So he was like,
nobody quitting when it's easy. And
nobody's
it's smooth.
quitting when it's easy.
When it's smooth.
You don't quit at the championship after you got the Super Bowl run. You ain't, man, fuck it, I ain't doing this shit
Right,
no more.
right.
You want to quit
see what
during
happened?
suicide or three
Yeah.
days in the summer. That's when you want to quit.
And you see Tom Brady.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he got the Super Bowl. He won more Super Bowls than anybody. Mm-hmm. But he won that last Super Bowl, and he's like, yeah, I could do this a couple more years.
Yep.
Because that, you know, like you said,
Because that winning
nobody,
shit, man,
Yeah.
you don't want to quit when you're winning.
Right.
And you don't want to quit when you've accomplished something.
Right.
So, boom, my son and my daughter, you know, they're doing the cookie business. And it's been a real good learning experience, you know, teaching them how to work together and realizing it ain't my and I, it's we. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, they didn't make cookies one night, so I had to wake them up early again, 5:30. My son came down with a little shruggy shoulder. He's like, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I feel you. I said, but I don't want to kick it. Go ahead and make the cookies. You can quit. You can quit. You can quit when you're on top.
No doubt.
So boom, January, February, March. End of March is the quarterly payout. That's not explained to him because I was telling my daughter because she sell way more cookies than him.
Right.
But I'm like, y'all gonna get paid as owners, and then y'all gonna get paid as salespeople, right? So you're
Right.
getting 2 paychecks, right? So we did the little quarterly bonus payout. I started breaking him off the money, right?
Yeah, different.
First time this joker seen a $100 bill that was his.
All right.
So I gave him the bread. I gave my daughter the bread, and then they were making cookies. I was like, son, okay, you ready to quit now? I said, you can quit now.
He was like, nah. He was like, nah, actually, yeah, exactly.
But he said it real quiet on the low. I was like, son, now what were you saying the other day about quitting? Because today's the day you can quit. You can give it
Right.
up and give her everything.
You up now.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm okay, Dad. I was like, what? I said, what you say?
Yeah, facts. Nah, that's a fact, though.
And so the moral of the story is that you can quit when you're up. You can quit when you achieve the results because everybody wants to quit when it's hard.
Right.
That's why success is elusive to most people, because the force, the Lord, the God, the universe know this when motherfuckers tap out.
No doubt. Most people.
This is when you get off the exit ramp. You're like, man, I don't feel like doing this shit. It's cold as hell outside. I don't feel like getting up. You know, I could take a day. It's like, all right, that's when everybody get off the exit ramp. So the moral of the story is that, like my brother said and what I said with my son, is that if you want to quit doing something, quit when you're up. Quit when you're in a good place. Quit on a sunny day. Don't quit on a rainy day. Don't quit on a snowy day. Don't quit when you want to give up. Muhammad Ali said, damn, my sound just, you must have hit that shit. Muhammad Ali was like, he ain't start counting his sit-ups till he couldn't do no more. So his whole shit was, you start. That's when you go the hardest when you're ready to give up.
No doubt.
That mic is all right. There we go. So anyway, so that was just a little story, and it was cool because, like you said, we said facts tell, stories sell. I'm like, if I'd have let this dude give up right now, I wouldn't have taught him shit.
Right.
I got to get him to the results, and this is like for people.
And at that age, I mean, you got people that's in their 40s, 50s, 60s that's doing it. So, you know, at that age, that wherewithal, that grit is really not there. So if you don't and still at him at an early age, he'll be. Just
that's how you're gonna be doing your
older,
life.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
like
how you're gonna be doing.
Adults are doing.
Exactly. So I mean, so the moral of the story is that it getting hard is gonna happen. Wanting to stop doing something is gonna happen. Nobody likes to voluntarily put themselves through pain. But without pain, we can't grow. That's why they call it growing pains. Mm-hmm. So if you're up to something, and I think we talked about this on the last episode, and you feel like shit maybe's not happened quick enough or fast enough, just remember, if you're going to give up, which I don't suggest you should give up if you want to succeed at some shit, do it when you're up, because everybody wants to quit when you're down. And that's what's the hardest part. That's, I guess, where that mind over matter comes. Because I'm going to say Steve Jobs said this shit, man, and I never forgot it. He said at that commencement space, he was talking about like the entrepreneurial space, and he was basically like, you got to do some shit that you love. Like, you got to figure out a way to love the shit. He said the reason why is because it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, when you put something out there that's really going to stretch you, it's so hard. The logical thing seems like you should quit. Mm-hmm. The logical seems like, man, you've been at this for X amount of time. You still doing that shit? That shit seems logical. Right. Like, your brain is telling you, man, this shit ain't working.
And that's just the information you telling yourself, not necessarily even counting the people around you.
Oh, man, we ain't even got outside our head yet.
We ain't even outside your head yet. Your mom said you need to quit. Your wife said you need to quit. Yep. Your brother said. I mean, and they're not gonna say it like
you need something to fall back on. You still doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's not gonna be blatant. It's not gonna be like quit. Subtle. It's just gonna. It's a subtle. It's a subtle. Like, oh yeah, that's what you still doing. Oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
that's what you still doing.
Oh, that's what you still doing? Man, you know what I'm still doing. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's that, man, and you know, trying to keep things consistent in your head, you know, and make sure your mind is right to continue to push towards what you want, having those thoughts and then having that external energy around you. It's tough, man. But
and I'm gonna tell you something real quick. I'm rereading Psycho Cybernetics by, I guess it's William M. Maltz. And so funny thing about it is this dude is basically, he wrote this book on basically what we think was real, and he's a plastic surgeon. Right. And the reason why he'd be like, what the hell a plastic surgeon talking about the mind? Because a motherfucker come into your thing be like, man, I got a big ass nose, man. You know what I'm saying? If my nose wasn't so damn big, I'd be straight. Mm-hmm. And then when they get the new nose, they actually feel different, but it was really how they felt about themselves, which is where the power was. It's like the placebo effect. You ever heard the placebo where two motherfuckers take a sugar tablet, other one takes something real, and they both have the same result because in their mind
they think that
it's real.
They're taking a specific medicine 100%.
So it goes so powerful into like what we perceive is what we believe, you know what I'm saying? And you can't go always trust your five senses, because your five senses is going to be like, nigga, we tired.
Right.
Or this shit hurt. Or we good.
Right, no doubt.
So anyway, I just wanted to tie that story in because I was happy, because I could have went hard on my son and been like, nah, I let it marinate and let him see the fruit of the labor from not giving up, and just like, of course you want to quit at 5:30 in the morning when shit is tough. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of the trap that a lot of us fall short in, and that's why we don't achieve the goals.
And we said, follow through to completion, but like, how long do you follow through if you're not seeing the results or seeing the silver lining?
So we got to qualify results, because, and we've talked about this before, I don't think it's that people aren't seeing results. I think it's that they're not seeing the results that they expect to see in the amount of time that's transpired. So if in your head, we always go to weight loss because it's something simple to understand. If in your head you were supposed to lose 20 pounds by X amount of time, but you didn't, you might not notice, but you built some muscle. Right. And you did lose some weight. And your clothes are fitting a little bit better. Right. You did just put another hole in your belt. You know what I'm saying? But you're not where you thought you would be. And I don't know who was talking about this, the point of goals, because they always talk about, what's that, specific, measurable, the shit that they use for goal setting. And the guy was saying, Specifics are good in
Oh, you
terms.
talking about SMART goals?
Yeah, smart. What is it? What is specific, measurable, attainable? What's this shit?
Realistic.
And time. You know, time.
and having a
So this is the SMART goal system. It's the way you set goals. The only thing about the time shit that'll fuck you up, and I was watching this shit on this podcast. This dude was talking about how to set goals and not putting a time limit on it. And I was like, well, damn, excuse me, how we gonna measure it if we don't have like a when this shit's supposed to be done by? But he was like, the goal should be in the process and not so much the outcome. So to your point, when you say, how do you not give up, is by finding a thing that is moving forward to celebrate. You might not have got 50 yards, but you might have fucked around and got a first down.
Right.
And that means you still in the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's about breaking it down into bite-sized pieces and finding something that you have been successful about and then focusing your energy on that. Because this shit don't ever feel like it's happening quick. It always feels like it's taking too long.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
What about the individual? What about the individual that's doing everything that they supposed to be doing, that wants to get their significant other to do the right thing and move in the right direction, whether it's love, whether it's finances,
I got you on this one.
whether it's health, just getting in better shape, or how do that individual you understand what I'm saying? So how do that individual communicate properly to their significant other or whoever they're with? It could be significant. We're going to talk about significant other. I don't want to talk about nothing else. But how do they communicate with them?
Yeah.
And the best way to get them to get moving in the right direction.
I got you covered. So boom.
This may be off topic.
No, we hot. No, I like this one. This is a good one because that shit came up real natural. You was like, damn, okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
But how does this shit apply? I got you covered. Right. So boom. The best way to communicate is by not to.
Wow.
Now let me explain that shit.
So is it?
It's about not saying shit. I'm gonna tell you something. The loudest way to communicate is results.
Actions.
Actions are what precede results. Mm-hmm. The results of action.
Right.
So a couple of stops down the road. You know what I'm saying? So action, obviously.
Right.
But then the results from action. As an example, the shit that you did. My shit cut up, Mike. Mm-hmm. All right, good. The thing that you're trying to show somebody to do, you have to show them the results of you doing it. You know what I'm saying? So as an example, I give you a perfect example, right? So I take my kids, right? Motherfuckers don't ever pick up after themselves, right? It's a constant thing. I talk to my homeboy about these kids don't ever fucking pick up after themselves. And they don't pick up. They just don't pick up after themselves. Son come in, I put hooks on the wall. I'm like, this where the book bags go. This where your instrument goes. This the folder for you. I come home, shit ain't never there.
Right.
So now I come home, I do a self-inventory. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers don't listen. I look around the house. I'm like, damn, nigga, there goes your shoes. There goes you throwing your sweatshirt over the back of the chair instead of putting it in the closet.
Right.
And then I got to thinking, I wonder if these motherfuckers is doing what I do and not listen to what I say. So let me tie it back in together. Mm-hmm. The best way to impact people, because you can't change people, but people can change. Mm-hmm. And the way that you can change people is by the results of your changed behavior. So if you just start picking up after yourself, if you start, I'm going to cook this for y'all, but this is what I'm eating. And then you got energy. Motherfucker get to seeing you walk into the damn bathroom with your shirt off, and motherfucker be like, damn, Dad, you getting in shape. Results is gonna always speak.
Right. That's attractive.
Results are attractive because motherfucker, we naturally are wired to do the shit that works.
No doubt.
So what you got to do is you got to live it in practice, get the results, and then that edifies you as an authority on the subject matter. And then when you talk, motherfuckers will be listening.
And to be honest, I heard this thing that was super super duper dope, and I think you'll be able to take something from it as well. Attraction. Right, so that's attraction, but you can't spell attraction without action.
Ooh, I like that one, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So the action.
I want to kick a rap and shit. The action is in there. The attraction is in the action.
The attraction comes from the action.
Yeah, for sure.
So from you doing the work makes it attractive, but that the action of doing the work is what makes it, super, make it super attractive, which is attraction to whatever individual you communicate with.
And I think as men, because I'm going to speak to the men right now, I'm going to speak to the men in general, I think that a lot of us are hypocrites.
Yeah.
And we don't realize it. We don't realize it because most either don't have the type of relationships or you don't got a real motherfucker holding you accountable.
Right.
Like if you got a coach or if you got homeboys or you got the type of circle where motherfuckers is telling you something real, then you'll know. But I think a lot of dudes is saying one thing but being some other shit and wondering why the results ain't matched up with who they think they are, because who they think they are is not really supported in their consistent behavior. Like when we're up and we're in a good mood and we're fresh off a workout, it's a beautiful day, you might be a motivational speaker, but it ain't about how you are when you're up. Let me tell you what Hov said. Some days you're up, some days you're down. As long as you stay the same and come back around. I always love that line because he's like, the thing is consistency no matter what's going on, and that's the shit that builds equity. That's what builds momentum. That's what people are paying attention to, is the consistency. So I think at the end of the day, that's really what it is as men. And when we're talking about our spouses and we were talking about our children aren't just following what we're saying. Our wives aren't just following what we're saying. They're watching what we're doing consistently over time, and that's the shit that impacts people.
And a lot of times you can, as a man, you can get to a point to where you feel obligated to be able to do what you want to do and just have other individuals follow what you say. It's like, I've been working all day, I've been grinding, I've been doing this. I deserve to be able to come in here and just toss my jacket to the side. No, and I'm just saying.
It don't work like
that.
But
and it don't, dude. It don't. And again, just like you said, like, I remember before, like, my kids used to want to go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But my kids now, if my kids was in here, they'll be like, can we go to La Rosa? Get grilled chicken, get it. And it's because I used to, at one point when they was young, I would take them there and then I would go
get your shit.
I would go get my stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what you eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go, or if I took them to a restaurant, I was like, y'all pick what you want. And then I get my stuff. So over time, they see me in here working out because they here with me all the time.
Yeah.
They see what I eat. They like, nah, I'm trying to be like that. My dad got this and that. So a lot of times it comes, well, not a lot of times, all the time, it comes to the actions that's attractive.
And I think to sum up, to just encapsulate it, is really example is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? I think about it. You know, we were talking about this. I'm all over the place, but it's all connected.
No, it's all good.
We talking about like hip hop artists, right? And you know, I'm grown. So for me,
I'm grown.
And no, but here's why I say that. Because hip hop is the kind of music that, you know, until like Jay-Z and the other couple dudes, it's been a Peter Pan music, meaning it's like it's childish. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the perspective of an angry youth. I'm grown as hell. I ain't angry for the same reason. I'm not confused about what's going on in the world. Like, I know how to live as a man. So for me, it's about if I believe you or not.
Right.
So, yo, that was hot. It's hot if I think you really, like, that shit really came from your experience.
Right.
It's not hot if that's not you.
Right, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're living that and that's a representation of what you are,
and you're able to put that into words,
then I can get with you.
1,000%.
So that it goes back to the point of example being the best teacher. Like, you think about what you like about Joker. What's the first thing you say? Oh, that Joker's real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If your dad be like, man, y'all need to clean this house up, and you catch him leaving dishes in the sink, you know, throwing trash throwing trash in the corner, not getting his rebound, leaving a little piece of paper, and then you trying to tell him, yo, y'all got to clean the house. You looking crazy. Now, your kid might not want to get slapped, so he might not say, Dad, you leave your shit all around all the time. He just gonna be
I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Hold on. Nah. Yo. Hold on. Did I say this last time?
I don't know.
What about my youngest kid?
No. Go ahead.
So, yo, check this out. So, this is gonna be quick. So, my wife, she walk in the bathroom. She's like, Kai, y'all need to why you always leaving your stuff on the floor? Like, Kai, why is your jeans on the floor in the room?
They can't get it into
the
but
check this out. Check this out though. I start. So I'm like, she's like, why do you leave this on the floor? And you got that on the floor and pick that up. Like, I don't understand y'all kid. He said, Mom, can I say something? She was like, yeah, go ahead. He said, walk with me in the room. Why is it? I swear to bro. Yo, I was rolling. Yo, he said, nah, no, he look at me. He look at me because he don't want to get slapped. He look at me, he said, Dad, now
If it's cool.
yeah, I'm like, go ahead. He said, Mom, look at your stuff right here. Look at your stuff right here. Look, and he just started picking her stuff up like this. I said, he was like, my room look better than this.
Ooh, God.
So, and my wife.
That's a hard one right there, boy.
It's hard because at the end of the day,
That's a tough one.
my wife, she's executive. So my wife will come in and try on three different things.
Yeah.
She'll try on 3 different things. I don't need to put this. And she'll just put it over, she'll just hang it, put it on the chair, put that on the chair, put that on the chair in the room. So he's like, you got this, you got that. I said, Debbie, look, he right. The
That's
man
a
is
tough
right.
moment right
It was funny, but it was a true testament of like how these kids. He's 9 years old, but he was 1,000% right, and he.
What do you do with that?
She get what she did. Started cleaning up.
You got
She was like, you know what?
You got a real one.
Yeah. She was like, you know what? You right. So she started getting all her stuff.
Don't listen,
She was
man.
like,
Don't gloss over that, man.
She was like, look, you right. I'm gonna clean this stuff up. You go in the room and clean up, and we'll be even. I'm like, all right. So at the end of the day, it wasn't like, nah, you go clean your stuff up. Don't worry about what I got going on. No. She said, you know what? He right. Cause I ain't gonna lie, she was stubborn in the beginning.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Cause let me tell you something. In that moment, she gained so much more credibility with your kids. When you realize it ain't no justice, you lose hope. And the same shit happened to me. The other day I was looking at my kids' room, like, damn, man, all you gotta do.
Yeah.
I went back, did my little self-inventory thing. I said, because for me, I'll be measuring if my preaching be like matching my walking. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't be out here saying one thing and living. So I went in my room. I looked around. I was like, damn, bro. You ain't really living the whole way. Yeah, so every day, even when I go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? What I did it the other day, because I wake up at 5:30 to go to the gym. I will get back and make up my bed. Now I make my shit up before I leave my door open.
See it.
So when my kids walk by and they get in the shot, like, damn, daddy's shit tight.
And I'm gonna be real, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
With that, I forgot the Navy SEAL or the commander that talked about making your bed. I forgot.
I posted that shit.
I don't even want to
start with making your bed. He said you start every day with making your bed.
I'll be real. Like, to be honest, I don't know how it affected my life as far as productivity and he talk about making small wins.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what I do know is when I get home, it's less stressful to be able to take a shower and hop in the bed than take a shower and have to make up the bed before you hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like how much progress are you making, and are you doing things to kind of make your life easier? And that's how I kind of look at that without,
that's a perfect segue. It's not just are you doing things to make your life easier. It's are you doing the simple things that will ensure that your life is easier. Like really, that's really what it comes down to. Nobody's ever mad that they came home and the house was clean.
Nobody.
You ever be like, God damn, I've been working all day. Now I got to not clean no dishes. House clean as hell. I could just sit down and just relax. Yeah. Nah, I can't stand this shit.
This is ridiculous.
That ain't never happened.
No doubt.
So it's like, it's back to wanting to give up and when should you quit, and it's about finding small wins and what are the little small things that you can do ritualistically, because really you got to build your discipline up. You got to build your follow through up, and sometimes people bite off more than they can chew, and they invariably fail, and then they think that this shit don't work. And so when you break it down into, if you just set a goal, I'm gonna tell you, I got some simple goals at the crib. Make my bed, and every time I come in, put my keys on the hook.
Yeah, simple.
That's it. Every time I be throwing my keys on the island, I stop what I'm doing, go put them on the hook. Because when I come downstairs and I want to get up and I see my little ear pods and my key on the hook, it gives me sense of peace.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know I can get my water, get my shake, and I'm outro.
It's hard, bro.
But when you deviate from the plan that you create, that's what I tell my daughter. I'm like, sweetheart, this the plan you made.
Yeah.
Like, this is your routine to help you get your thing done. You know what I'm saying? So I think that keeping going is by creating a routine and breaking that shit down into many steps and consistently doing them, and you'll feel better about yourself.
And to be honest,
man.
if you continuously do those things and you create the habit, then it becomes not even, it becomes something that you don't even really have to think about.
It becomes a ritual.
Just a ritual.
It ain't even nothing. My late aunt used to say, she said, the problem with you kids, she used to always say, you kids. I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. But she'd be like, you kids is that y'all don't have no she called it rituals or routines. So it's things that you do consistently, whether it's get up in the morning, drink my water, meditate, saying, go for a walk, have my tea. Whatever it is, set yourself up a routine that you design. But once you lock that in, commit to it. Because what happens is that there's a confidence and there's a self-esteem process that happens from following through on something that you could do and you should do, and if you did do, it would make a difference.
Right.
So if I drunk a bottle of water every day, it would be better for me. And if I made my bed, when I got out of the bed, I could sit down and put my clothes on without having pillows on. That these little small things are better for you. So it's about just committing to the small things. And what happens is you build up your power and your belief in yourself so you can handle the bigger things. And to segue into what we was talking about earlier, if you got kids and you got a wife, as a man and as a leader, you have to lead in deed, not just in word. And that's what people follow. You know what I'm saying? So, I think to tie everything in is that when you should quit, obviously the answer is never. But if you're going to quit when you're up, because it's too easy to quit when you're down, because that's when everybody quits. But then everybody don't got the results that you want to get, so you can't be doing the everybody model.
Right.
And what everybody doesn't do is stay true to it when it's hard. So if you feel like I want to stop something, if your kid's like, Daddy, I don't want to play softball, I don't want to play basketball, but all right, bet. Finish this whole season out, give it 100%, and if at the end you want to quit, then you can quit. You tried it, but don't ever quit something that you didn't give 100% to and then act like the shit didn't work. It didn't work, now you didn't work.
And quit because you're going through a rough patch. Most people, you know the story about, quitting 2 inches before goal.
Oh, man. One of my favorites.
And a lot of situations, a lot of situations happens just like that. Whether it's businesses, whether it's relationships, whether it's just, financial. A lot of times people don't put that extra that extra effort into it to make it go. And then,
and then they wonder why it doesn't happen.
Why it didn't work
out.
out.
I'm gonna close out with this quote as far as quitting. If you're thinking about it, if you're at the point where you're quitting or things are getting really loud and it's starting to get painful.
Let me tell you something though. As long as it's not fitness.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, don't ever quit. Don't ever,
you can't quit hygiene. You can't be like, I'm clean. Now I'm straight, man. Fuck these showers.
Yeah.
You know
Exactly.
Like,
and the thing
there are things that need to happen ongoing.
Because some people gonna take this. They be
like, all right, so these motherfuckers say,
no,
okay,
hold
so
on now. They said I could quit if I
don't take the message left field.
Yeah, so I want to make sure when it comes to your health, ain't no quitting.
No.
Right? Ain't no quitting. This is a long game, and you want to continuously work. You want to continuously get better, make progress, learn more about your body, and do the things that allow you to live a long, prosperous life. So, so when we talk about fitness, nutrition, and things of that nature, there's never a quitting point. That's
hygiene, personal development, these are ongoing things.
These are ongoing things.
So I'm going to close out with this last quote about that, and this was in Think and Grow Rich, the same 3 feet from gold, but the dude was like basically failure as a trickster with a keen sense of irony. It takes great delight in tripping you with successes within reach. So understand that when it gets the loudest, when it gets the hardest, that's probably when you're about to break through, and that's the time that you should buckle down. You think about if you ever driven a manual shift, a stick shift, that shit gets like, when it gets loud, it's time to shift.
Shift down.
You know what I'm saying? So that means you're about to level up. So if it's getting hard and you be like, damn, just know you probably at that breakthrough moment, and this is the time to put your head down and just keep moving your knees and don't stop.
No
you know
doubt,
what I'm saying?
No doubt. So, guys, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to yet again another episode of Transformers, the podcast, with your boy Will Beckford.
And your main man, Dallas Maxwell.
Make sure y'all go to the description and check out all the information. We have so many great things.